Hey, this is Will Chapman from the band Colony House, and this is my gear, my drum set, my everything right here, all here. First, let's start with the drum kit. This is actually special that I've gotten to do this. This is the first time I've gotten to kind of run down on this kit, but this is actually my own drum company, Franklin Drums. Just started about less than a year ago, so we launched it. Oh, when did we launch it? Almost a year, yeah, November of 2020. And so, yeah, I've gotten to come out. This is an acrylic kit. I've never played an acrylic kit on tour, but I've been blown away. It's kind of a little different, not wood, but it's just super attack, all just kind of punchy and whatnot. So this kick, this is a 24 by 13, which is kind of one of the sizes that I love to do. It's not a very normal size, but 13 in that in width and so, or sorry, depth, yeah, and then it's 24. So this is a 13.9 rack, 16.15 floor, I think. Normally I bring out a kind of a maple kit. I've always loved maple live. It's a little bit more attacky. In the wood world, it's pretty popular to go maple or mahogany, right? So maple to me just seems a little bit better, especially for our music. It's a little bit more rock and roll, a little louder. I like them to kind of cut through a little bit harder. The acrylic, the reason why I wanted to bring it is because it's kind of like what maple does, in my opinion, but just like to the extreme, because there's no wood that's kind of soaking the tone out. So it's kind of all attack, super punchy. I don't have to work very hard to make them sound good because there's no tone or wood kind of tones that are just, you kind of have to figure out and tape a lot, you know, and that's usually when I'm playing wood kits, it's a lot of tape and a lot of just to make sure each room's different, so I'm kind of messing around tuning wise. These are pretty much to turn on and they kind of sound pretty great. So, and our front of house guy Michael's loved them. Super, yeah. It's been something I've wanted to try for a long time. I mean, John Bonham's the guy that made them famous, right? The orange, the classic orange, you know, Led Zeppelin, rock and roll drums. So I knew they would probably sound pretty good. So I've been blown away, but and loving them. So, and then Remo, I've been doing the black dots on the heads, which is kind of the classic like acrylic head. I wasn't sure. I'm not a big clear head guy, honestly. I've always done coated heads, but for these drums, it's just felt right. It's a big part of it's the look. I think it looks tight, and then I think they sound great on these drums. Very attacky, very punchy, and I've loved it. So Rezo heads, yeah, Rezo. So we have, I think it's just Remo. It's just an Ambassador clear. So same thing. I've used those. I've used those heads on the Rezo about every tour I think we've done. I'll sit this on there, make sure it doesn't fall. Kick head. I love this Aquarium Super Kick. It's the batter head kind of, and it's got like kind of a natural muffling ring around it. I like kicks live to just be super punchy, not a lot of ring. I'd rather him control that and add a little bit more, you know, length on the side, on his side. So I like it to be real dead and just punchy. So it's a lot of attack. So it hits you in your heart. Love this head. I've always loved it. And then snare drum wise, this is a just classic kind of vintage Superphonic, 6.5 by 14. Kind of the classic. Yeah, there's the logo. This is one of those old indie throw-offs that's just, I've been blown away. That's a very small detail, but throw-offs for me have always been a struggle of getting the right throw-off that doesn't feel like it just loosens during the show or whatnot. So I've loved this thing, and it's been tried and true. It's not broken on me. Interesting fact, I like to keep these out when I play. I like the sound of it. It kind of a weird thing because you can kind of see it's a little wrinkled right there, but I love the sound of not having them all tight. So it kind of, and my bottom head's super tight, which is just it's a hazy 500 Evans. Interesting. I kind of have a deal with both of the head companies because I've loved the Evans, this heavyweight on top, super heavy snare head, about as heavy as you can find. I love it because I love just kind of cranking it and being able to play with it, and I can play 15-20 shows on it. It doesn't get tired, and not trying to bust through heads all the time. And on the bottom, it's a hazy 500, which is the thickest head you can find for a bottom snare head, which is kind of an interesting thing, and it's super tight. I mean, I have the thing cranked, which I think makes for a cool sound because then I can kind of mess with the top about how tight I want it to be, and how much I want to muffle it. This is an interesting kind of kit because we built this riser for tour. My brother and me built it so that we could, honestly, it would save space. So we actually are able to like kind of go straight into the riser. If you can see that, it's pretty interesting. And it just is this PVC pipe that goes right into it. And then DW hardware is kind of the vibe. DW 9000 kick pedal. Have two all the time because you never know when one might break. It's happened a lot. 5000 hi-hat pedal, classic. DW's the best in hardware, so it's nowhere, nothing better. So they've been awesome to me too. So shout out to DW. Cymbals are next. Istanbul, 100%. I've been playing Istanbul for 5 years now. Scott at Istanbul has been amazing to me. He's sorted me with so many good cymbals. I'll start. I'm actually doing a combination on this tour, or I've been doing a combination of two different hi-hats. So this is their 30th anniversary hat. That it's real kind of dry and a little darker. In smaller rooms, it's not as harsh. So I really like that. I've been doing that on the bottom, and then this is like their signature AGOP 16-inch, and I've been using that on top, and I love it. It's kind of just it's a nice blend of not too harsh and not too bright, but kind of washy. 16-inch hats, love these hats. And then this is the ride. I play open-handed, so interesting fact, I play kind of open hand. So I play like a lefty, but I play setup normal. So I actually have my ride on this side. This is probably my favorite cymbal of all time. It's the Joey Waronker 24-inch. And then this is an amazing cymbal as well, just a traditional dark crash 24-inch Istanbul, everything. Also super just heavy, good rock and roll cymbal. And yeah, I'm big on the like washy kind of bigger sounding cymbals. Don't love the harsh kind of like bright thing and them cutting too quickly. So these have been amazing. So yeah, so those cymbals, then Istanbul is just the best. So Scott Lycan at Istanbul, shout out, you've been amazing. This is just a Roland SVD SX. It's actually the new one. So these things, everybody plays these things, right? This is the newer one. It's a red. It's awesome because it's got 16 gigs of internal memory. So a lot of those black ones only had, I think, 2, and I think they realized really quickly that just doesn't. It does. Honestly, I would get those. I've gone through so many of these, and I had to like literally. I internally went and opened those black ones up and put my own card in, which was probably super stupid because it just jacked up everything inside. Which some of them would work and some of them wouldn't. So then I saw that they released these, and I actually have 2 at all times because we actually run our whole show from this thing. So we don't do like the tracks thing. It's all coming from this. So, which has been cool. It's worked for us the way we run our show, and so I'm like constantly firing clicks and count offs, and I'm triggering stuff for the whole show. So and that's why I have 4 outs. So I'm doing left and right out on my. Those are like the tracks. So like if there's a chorus, I'll hit like a synth to kind of help it beef up, and like any kind of tracky things are left and right out. Then I got the sub left and right. So my sub left is per kit, so like one shot like drum, electronic drum samples. And then so I have to go in and pan all those left, go to the sub left out, and then this is my click line. So it's kind of, I'm pretty much using this thing to its max potential. I feel like I'm kind of running it hard. So that's why I have 2 at all times. And then this is just an extra pad off of it, kind of a trigger out, goes out, runs out. So it adds like a 10th pad to mine. This is mostly for like the really important ones because I know I won't miss that as I'm playing. But it's worked for us this far, and it's been kind of a cool way to do our show. So and at any time, what's nice is we like to kind of be able to like at any point cut stuff and just roll with the vibe. So we're not like stuck to anything during the show, and so it's an easy way to just cut everything and just vibe. So I'll start with drum throne wise. This is actually a buddy of mine's company. They're called Air Thrones. They look super cool, amazing. The whole idea is that I don't use it to its full potential, but the whole idea is that you can actually plug in and it's a fan, so it fans your butt during the show, which is kind of amazing. I don't use that part just because it's like it can be a little noisy. Also, this is like before they kind of launched them, so this is like very early on, and they're also like figuring out, they're still kind of like building their brand. But shout out to Air Throne, you can find information about them. They're amazing. They obviously look insanely cool, and they're comfy. So shout out Air Throne. Stick wise, yeah, I'm playing Pro Mark sticks. This is the 747B. I think they call it like the Super Rock, so it's like a mix of, it feels like it's between like a 5B and whatever's big. I like bigger sticks. I like it feeling heavy. When in the adrenaline of a show, if I'm raging or whatnot and my sticks feel too light, I'm like, what's going on? I don't know. So I like to feel, I feel like I have to work for it when the stick's just a touch heavier. It's probably not good for our sound guy because it makes the drums louder, but yeah, 747B, Pro Mark. Been playing Pro Mark forever. Love them. They're the best. Drum mic wise, yes, we do travel with their own mics. Shure has been amazing to us. They've hooked it up. So yeah, we go through the ringer. I think this is like a 48. What is this? Mikey would know. This is like a.
See a number.
Oh yeah,
there.
KSM. Yeah, that's right. So all the overheads and the hi-hat are KSM 137, I think is what they call them. So yeah, that's another one. And we do them under. It's just kind of convenient to sound great under too. Snare mic, classic 57, SM57. I think it's the best snare mic that's been made. This is classic 58 for my talkback. No one can hear this. This is just me like, yo, guys, get your shit together. We got to get going. And then this is an effect vocal that I do. I sing on one song. It's kind of just a raging song. And this is like a Pio, I think, PR20. Yeah, cool looking mic. It actually sounds great for what it is. It's just one song, so we didn't have to have anything crazy. But, okay, yeah, so I pulled that up for that song and like this. So, thanks so much, y'all. This is all the gear. Thanks for taking the time to listen. You can find more information about our band. We're on tour right now. Go to colonyhousemusic.com. You can find a lot of information, where to stream the music, where to see the dates. We appreciate it. Thanks. Much love.